Give me $100 for it.
100?
Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be looking at some of the top video games to walk through those famous doors of the gold and silver pawn shop. Let's get stuck in. First, we have a box of collectible Nintendo Game & Watches. Nintendo produced its first video game console in 1997. At the time, American kids only spent 10 hours a week playing video games. Could you imagine that these days? First produced in 1981, these collectibles were made to bankroll the upcoming Nintendo Entertainment System, so they were not meant to be as popular as they originally were. Still very collectible today, they don't bring in the megabucks, but a lot of gamers who collect the original handheld Game Boy want this to complete a collection. The seller starts with an opening offer of $500, and after a bit of bartering, the seller eventually walks away with $250.
I think $250 is a good price for these games. With all the gamers we have coming into Vegas, I should be able to get $100 a piece for them.
Up next, we have the Vectrex self-contained gaming system. Developed by Smith Engineering in the early 80s, this was a fully self-contained video console. In contrast to other video game systems available at the time, the Vectrex uses a monochrome CRT monitor, capable of displaying vector graphics without the need to be hooked up to a television set. The control pad is mounted to the base of the console and is detachable. Games came with colour overlays to compensate for the monochrome screen. A number of peripherals were also produced, such as a pair of 3D goggles known as the 3D Imager, alongside a light pen that allowed the player to draw on the screen. The system also comes with a built-in game, Mindstorm, playable even if a cartridge is absent. Despite being a commercial failure, the Vectrex was highly praised for its software library, graphical capabilities, and use of a built-in monitor. Several publications labelled it one of the best home consoles available at the time. The Vectrex is considered the first video game console to have a 3D-based peripheral. In later years, the system gained a cult following, with many releasing homebrew software for it. A colorized handheld version of the Vectrex was conceived in the late 1980s. However, the success of the Nintendo Game Boy and manufacturing cost caused it to be shelved. After several offers going backwards and forwards, it was sold to the guys at Pawn Stars for $150. Absolute bargain.
150 is fair. I'll accept that price.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just meet me right over there at the counter.
Okay.
And next we have the first 3D system to be produced for the masses. It was the Nintendo Virtual Boy. First produced in the mid-90s, it was marketed as the first console capable of displaying stereoscopic 3D graphics. The player uses the console like a head-mounted display, placing their head against the eyepiece to see a red monochrome display. The games use a parallax effect to create the illusion of depth. Sales unfortunately failed to meet targets, and by early 1996, Nintendo ceased distribution and game development, releasing a mere 22 games for the system. Many people thinking that the system was too ahead of its time for it to be a real success. The seller came in asking for $200, but had to walk away with only $80 for it, due to shipping containers being found with hundreds of them unopened, which flooded the market. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Have you ever owned any of these games that we've mentioned? We know the Game & Watches is still in circulation today. Until next time.